So basically, I have created a time, and I'm I'm about to start the timer, and it's gonna be about 15 minutes. So in this program, we're gonna program to code for a static function or a static member. So we're just gonna create a normal static data member, and we're just gonna see how it works. So let me just explain basics of how this could be working. So what static members usually are and how they work is in one of my series. So just go and hop or in the description, or if the description is not available, just click on the screen, or just go to the, I don't know, you could find it. It's there, so don't worry about it. So the part is that static members, I'm revising again before I start the timer, and it's 58 minutes already. I mean 58 seconds, 59, 1 minute already. Okay, so here we go. Static members is something that are not within the bounds of the block. They can extend even though if they're within the bounds of the block. So if I take a function, for example, function book, and that's going to be the member function, right? And if I mention within that function an integer which is in a class, say keyboard. So there's a class called keyboard. In the class keyboard, there's a normal member function, static member function called as book. Now the idea between a normal function, a normal member function, and a static member function is that a normal member function won't increment. I mean, it's going to increment just within the block. So you can't really expect much from normal member function to actually get you the increment values in the object part. So that can actually be achieved using static members. Static are kind of tricky, guys, and in my videos I've explained these guys, how they work and what they do. I also call them Sid and Nicolo. That's not even funny, but I thought it would be funny. Anyways, let's get started. I'm about to start my timer, and it's about 2 minutes and 30. Oh, it's more than that. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There you go. Okay. So this is something called as include preprocessor header using namespace, and we've got our integer main. Now, what's going to happen here is I'm just going to create a normal class, say class. Just the way I said before, keyboard. Okay, and I'm going to create one public. So it's by default it's private, so I'm going to create an integer, which is going to be, actually don't even need an integer, so what's the point? I'm just going to create a member function. It's going to be void void book. Okay, and that's going to be the function. The function is going to have a static integer grades. I'm just doing some random stuff. It does not even make sense, but anyways, static integer grades, or I could be like, and by the way, integer is, I mean, the integer in static value is always equal to 0. So cout, cout, and we've got something in here. Enter the number of grades. I don't know what I'm doing, but you get the idea. Here we're gonna type the grades, and here is the place where we're gonna type end. Okay, here's the place where we're gonna increment the grades. You might be wondering why I am incrementing it below the cout function, and why not incrementing it somewhere above the cout function. And the reason is because if I do this, I will not get the right result, and I'm going to be showing you in a minute why this does not really work. Because again, grades equal to 0, right? The default static integer value for any member, anything, any name is equal to 0, right? So let's check this out. But if I write like this, if I write grade plus plus before cout statement, what's going to happen is this thing is going to print 1. If I create an object here, say um, class keyboard, sorry, keyboard, keyboard book. So I'm gonna create obj, and it's gonna be obj dot whatever. So that's gonna be grades. Okay, grades and semicolon. Okay, that's technically gonna print the stuff, and I'm gonna have a revised edition of obj dot out. That's gonna print the output, right? And then cin dot get to get the data. Anyways, now this is the place where I'm gonna initialize for output, just to make sure that I'm printing the right thing. Actually, I don't even need that, so because I already have it in my system, so I don't even need the output object. So let me just erase this part. Oops. Okay, now that works. I just got like let me check what's the time. Okay, I have 11 minutes more. I have to do this in the right time. Okay, let me build this and see what happens. So it gives me an error here. Okay, it does not give me an error there. Let me build this and check what happens. Okay, it gives me an error here. See out, enter the number of grades, grades, and L. I missed the semicolon. So remember, semicolon is very important, right? And then again, oh, what's up? Okay, void book. I think I missed the book. Why did I write get? Oh god. I needed to end with book. Does not even make sense. And L. Okay, cin dot get. If the function obj dot the function name is going to be the grades. It's not going to be the name is going to be book, right? And then let's build it again. Come on, what's up? Static integers. Okay, we don't have much time. obj. Oh, ng. What? Grades plus. Oh, semicolon. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm just making too many mistakes this time. Void book. Class keyboard void book. That's gonna be like public, right? Oh shoot. Alright, there you go. We've got one here. And the reason why we got one here is, I hope we have time. The reason why we have got one here is because static members don't start from 1, they start from 0. So that's fake. Don't believe it. And that is the reason why I put this here, so that, you know, you could get the right results right below this thing. Let me just put it below so that you can know how this is like. Where did it go? It just vanished in thin air. Oh my goodness. Okay. Alright. Okay. That looks great. I'm just gonna delete the space in here. And now when I build and run, let's see what we get. We get 0, and that's the right answer. So it has to start from 0. It's not supposed to start from 1. So what if I, you know, create a for loop? But let me just, instead of creating for loop, immediately just copy these statements. So that looks simple, but you know, a good coding doesn't include this. So a good coding usually includes like for loop, and you can increment as many times you want. But I'm just gonna do the simple one so that you can understand. The reason why I'm doing this is because what's basically happening in here is that this is 0. Okay, this piece is equal to 0. This is 0. And this piece is equal to 1. And then then this piece is equal to 2. So we've got until 2. Okay, if you can't see, I'm really sorry about that, but cin.get is going to be there always to help you. And yep, so our estimated output is 0, 1, 2. There you go. That's the estimated output. What happens if I don't mention static? What happens if I don't mention static? What do you think the answer is going to be? Guess. Pause the thing and guess. So the answer is this. It just gives you garbage value. It doesn't give you something that you need. And the best part is it increments those garbage values. So 70, 71, 72. It increments those garbage values. But as a result, that is why you need to initialize it to some numbers. So when you initialize it, what do you think the answer is going to be? The answer is going to be 0, 0, 0. And the reason is because they're enclosed within the box. They're literally enclosed within these frames. They're like, they're like, how do I say? They're like demarcated within those plots. They can't leave it. It's like they're like confined. So they're literally shouting out, "Oh, we can't get out!" But Static is like the smart guy, so he can actually get out, and he knows the trick, right? Because he's sort of evil, not really, but sort of. That's why he's getting out. So I hope this was pretty interesting, and we've done it pretty quick. And anything else that I would tell you would be that always put this in here. And the reason why you're putting grades plus plus below the cout statement is this. Okay, if you want to put this thing, grades, up, okay, I'm giving you a very good advice. If you want to put this up, if you like grade plus plus to be up, and you want it to start with 0, okay, let's just take static again. Static integer grade default is 0 anyways. Even if you mention or you don't mention is the same thing, so it doesn't really matter. So you're going to leave it with equal to 0 this time to see what you think and what your reactions are. Anyway, so grade plus plus is again going to start with what? What do you think it's going to start with? Definitely it's going to start with 1, right? Because we already know it starts with 1. But we're going to check again. There you go. It starts with 1, 2, 3. But now, what we are going to do is we're going to have this grade plus plus on the top, but still have the right answer. And the way you do it is just add plus plus before the grades. And that's how you get the right answer. Oh, I'm sorry. It doesn't work that way. 1, 2, 3. And let me tell you why it doesn't work that way. People do this mistake all the time. They think that they're going to get the right answer, but it doesn't really work. And the reason is because when your grade is equal to 0, right, what happens is, let me just get to the default method. You increment it right then and there, right here, okay? Once it's incremented, the value gets in here. So it's 1, and then it comes in here. So 0 gets incremented immediately, and here this value is equal to 1, and then 1 is then shifted in here. That's why you don't really get the right answer, and that is why it's not a very good technique to do this thing here. So always remember, this is the wrong method a lot of people do and confuse themselves. So please don't do this. If you really want to do this, you could actually do it in some interesting manner. You could shorten the code. What you can do is just mention this thing here, grades plus plus. It's still going to give you the right answer, and plus that the code is very short now. So instead of mentioning an extra line at the bottom somewhere here, you're just mentioning within the same cout print statement and getting the output in a very efficient manner that any coder can understand, build his program, and read what you're trying to what you're trying to do. Okay, let's see what happens. And there you go. So I hope that was fine, and I hope that made some sense. If not, oh my god, I will try my best to make it to make it interesting and logical. In any case, thank you for watching, and please be updated on my courses, and catch you back later. Goodbye.